right, everybody, welcome to the WrestleMania Saturday post show here on Bodyslam.net. Jose Gonzalez here after a very chaotic close to the first half of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Whether you saw it coming or not, definitely an interesting way to set the tone for what is to follow tomorrow night. Of course, I'm not alone. I'm blessed and favored to be around two great hosts online. First, to my left, you might know her from the Gimme the Al Yeah podcast. We also see them on the Sunday special here at Bodyslam.net talking all things AEW Collision. It's Al. Al, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It's weird being on Body Slam on a Saturday night and I'm talking about WWE, so it's a fun change. I like it.
Yeah,
I dressed up for the occasion like I told you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, breaking the
I'm
Saturday podcast ritual myself, too. Not talking about RuPaul's Drag Race instead of wrestling, but alas, we make do with the circumstances that are afforded to us this weekend. You know, I mean, very similar when you think about it. And then, of course, to my right, you know her, you love her. You've seen her everywhere at Wrestling Gal, WrestleZone, Wrestling Inc. My God, this woman does not sleep. It's LJ.
Hello, I'm great. I had a 2-hour break today. That was it. Not even. It's been go this whole week.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had twice as long of a break today as you did yesterday.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? It is what it is. It was what it was, or at least that's what a certain singer says that we can't play the rights to the song for. But it wouldn't be us if we didn't talk about some fun happenings over at WrestleMania 41. Overall, what are your guys' thoughts going into night 2 after what we just saw? Whoever wants to go first, be my guest.
Man, I selfishly I honestly found myself having a little bit of a hard time enjoying this because I was more so being competitive with because one of the sites I write for, we do WrestleMania predictions, and I'm currently first. That is totally changed after tonight. I was rooting for all the people I picked out of competitiveness that honestly a little part of me was less enjoying it because I needed it to go a certain way. But honestly, regardless of my pick being wrong for the main event, I absolutely screamed in a good way in the main event, the ending, that I loved that. I can't even be mad at that. So mine was spoiled it a little bit for myself just out of my competitiveness. There was definitely some surprises, some questionable moves, which we'll talk about, but the ending, we're on a great note on the ending anyway. So I hope we kind of ride that into night 2, which I think overall, objectively is the better card anyway.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Al, what about you?
Yeah, I was like, it's fine. It was chill. It was okay pay-per-view. This doesn't feel mania to me.
Yeah.
And then the end, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Even though I was kind of going into the triple threat, I was like, fine, we're fighting over Paul. Okay, boys are fighting, cool.
Yeah.
But they got me. They got me good. The end. The last two, yeah. Tiffy, Charlotte, last 2 matches, they got me back in.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this main event taught us that The Boy Is Mine is still a very valid song and why fighting over a man goes nowhere. But, I mean, honestly, I can echo the sentiment of, this not feeling the most like a WrestleMania. I'd say, for half the card, it didn't feel like so much WrestleMania, but, some of these, I don't want to be the person to say it. It could have happened on SmackDown, and I would have been okay with it. And probably had some other matches on the card instead. But, alas... we did kick off the show in a pretty big way. Kicking off with the World Heavyweight Championship, we finally got to see main event Jey Uso, the Royal Rumble winner, challenging Gunther. And he made good on his word because not only did he capture the World Heavyweight Championship, we saw Gunther tapping out, which was not on my bingo card at all. And we have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Jey Uso. I'm still a little stunned at the finish on this one. Al, we'll start with you. Thoughts on the World Heavyweight title match?
I usually I would hate a title match being an opener. I got it, I understood why, but I was like, But Jay, you have to open the show with Jay because we're all just eating. We're having a good time. Mm-hmm. But him tapping him out, I was like, excuse me? He heard the internet though. I know the internet's not real. But he said, oh, bet, you think I can't wrestle? Let me tap this man out. That's the special is. He pulled out new moves, and then his brother showed up, and I was in tears.
Yeah, see, 20 past 4 in the morning.
Oh
I wish. Gosh, it is almost that day. Don't worry. But Jamie, welcome to the chat. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm on West Coast time, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like, listening to the internet, I mean, that whole thing is a thing in itself. But I mean, I thought the way that they were building up this match, because we saw him do this Uso splash from 3 different turnbuckles, I was fully expecting him to hit it on the 4th one and then pin him.
Yeah.
I understand the whole, like, sleeper hold with, like, him, like, having Jimmy in the sleeper all bloodied and everything, so it's kind of turnabout as fair play. But that was a very quick submission, too. Like, you didn't even have Gunther pass out. You had
that's
him
my only
tap.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Ella. Like, what else did you want to add for that?
I know. I was going to say, like, it was a little quick. I mean, I guess you can just play it off as, Gunther's a heel. And he's like, no, I'm out. Like, no. Like, he's just going to be a wimp or whatever. But yeah, I would have liked him to lock it in more. Maybe even blood, just like his brother would have been cool.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for Jay. Like, I was like, this is sick. This is a great way to start the show. Like,
and a feel-good moment with Jimmy coming out celebrating with him, them going in
why
the
did I
crowd.
cry? Tell me why I got misty-eyed. I was like,
It
was too much. And then I was like, where's Rikishi? I was looking for Rikishi.
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah,
he?
no Rikishi, but there was that one random chick in the crowd that was just screaming her head off trying to get into the shot.
Oh my god. Don't do that, guys. Don't do it.
Yes.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah. Ella J, any other words regarding the world title match?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the main event, we were kind of expecting or hoping it wasn't completely out of the realm of possibility for Paul to turn on Roman and Seth. So it wasn't as big of a surprise for me. The biggest surprise was Gunther tapping out. I was like, oh my God, like I never would have, like, it makes sense, like storyline wise, like Gunther is this tough guy who's supposed to be super confident, but now Jay took him out with his own moves. So now he's going to have those self-doubts. Like, I like the story that this is going to go to. But I do agree it was a little bit fast for Gunther, especially for Gunther. So I wish he would have held out a little bit longer. I think it would have been more dramatic. But for me, that was definitely the biggest surprise. I think that it was also the right decision, or else that Rumble win, frankly, would have been a waste. So I was happy. I don't think Jay is going to have a long reign. I think he probably holds it till Backlash, honestly.
Really? That quick?
Yeah, I don't expect him to have a long reign, to be honest with you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I do think this was the right call. It makes the Royal Rumble win worth it. And there's a little bit of a story they can do now of Gunther tapping out, which is like a rare sight. So congratulations, Jey Uso.
I just feel like the problem I have of it is just if you're going to build Gunther as the ring general, the man that held the Intercontinental Championship for a hell of a number of days, literally 666 days, you have him go on this tear of literally fending off every challenger, including open challenges that he had leading up to this match. I mean, we saw him have a hell of a match with Axiom. We got to see him do a lot of crazy stuff. It's just, I feel like this diminishes the stock of Gunther. Like, literally, if it was a pinfall victory, I don't think it would have hurt as much. But that submission that quickly is where it's still kind of stuck on me. But regardless, we have a new champion. I'm excited to see what's going to play out on Monday Night Raw. I mean, we saw Jimmy Uso playing nice tonight. Is that going to remain the case?
Yeah, that was in the back of my head, and maybe
I low-key was expecting him to turn on Jay again, like in that aftermath. I was like, "Is Jay gonna attack him?" Like,
I think we're just so.
I did think it.
Yeah, we're just so conditioned as wrestling fans that like anything could be a heel turn.
Yeah,
especially at WrestleMania, just like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? That we almost like are sad that it doesn't. But no, it's nice to have one feel good moment on the card for sure.
I think we're not used to that. We're not used to just pure joy sometimes.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we're all traumatized. I think that we're like, oh, you're just gonna turn on his brother.
I feel like that's been like the Jey Uso like Rumble win in a nutshell, because no one thought that he was going to win it at first. Everyone thought it was either going to be Punk or Cena, and then you see Cena get eliminated final 2, and Jey ends up winning, and the reaction that came from that, it almost feels like there's been like, oh, everybody's been behind Jey except for when he actually gets like the full on push. It's like, I don't know, is he ready? Just because we're not used to WWE striking while the iron's hot when things are over organically.
Yeah.
I mean, we think about Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 and that whole build up there, and like how it really came down to how invested people were in making sure that they saw it through to the end, that it worked. Saw it again last year, Cody Rhodes, and the whole like social media stuff getting him back into the main event as well. But alas, new world heavyweight champion, main event Jey Uso, good on you. But not to be outdone, we have some more champions that were crowned at WrestleMania. Shortly after, we had the World Tag Team Championship with the New Day winning their 12th Tag Team Championship in WWE, defeating the War Raiders. This one was an interesting match with how everything played out towards the end. Ella J, I'm going to let you start on this one. The floor is yours.
Listen, I love the New Day. There was a story there for Big E to return and get his revenge. And also, I put this together. Big E had a neck injury. The two guys, the War Raiders, just came back from neck injuries. Like, there was a story there for him to help the War Raiders while also getting back at the New Day for kicking him out. He didn't even have to be that. I mean, I don't know his condition. I can only speculate. But, like, he could have done stuff without getting physically involved. You know, he could have just distracted them. Like, there was a story there. And also, like, I mean, I was proven wrong. But, like, back-to-back kind of new champions I didn't really like personally. But it makes sense because the New Day have been clawing and they've been complaining for months. They've been spiraling for months for losing. So it makes sense like why they would win. But I think that there was a story there for the War Raiders to win and Big E. But I will say I have been enjoying the New Day and their heel run. I'm interested to see where they're going to go from this, but I know Jose is going to echo this later. This could have been on Raw. This TLC match could have been on night one for the other tag titles. This could have been a Raw thing. Like, especially if you weren't going to have Big E return, this could have literally been a Raw thing. Like, I don't know. That's just me, though.
I mean, not wrong. Al, what about
I think
you?
it's just you. I agree. It was fine. They looked cute in their little fits. It was fine. Congrats. But yeah, like you said, Biggie could have just stood there.
Yeah.
You know, he could have just walked out and they would have been, what are you doing? And then 1, 2, 3. But I thought the same thing. They were like, they made it a point to talk about the neck injuries. And I was like, oh, we're doing something. No. That's fine.
Like there was also
fine.
like no big like returns or like really really big things besides the ending. Like I was surprised there was really like no returns or like outside interference even from like Solo Sikoa during the United States title match. Like everything was pretty clean. Like besides the ending where technically like it was no countouts and no DQs. Like I am shocked that it was a pretty clean show. Honestly.
Yeah, and then like on top of that too, I feel like the match itself had like plenty of high points. I mean, like we saw the crazy high flying stuff that Ivar was doing with that moonsault and everything.
He should not be able to do
really
that.
Trying to target the neck with like the daylight move that they did, but it's just so weird to like. I feel like the problem with the World Tag Titles is that the Raw Tag Division just has not been invested into the same way the SmackDown Division has, aside from New Day. And I think that's partly just because Judgment Day held the titles hostage for so long that they never got a chance to see what they could have potentially as moneymakers. So that being said, I understand like New Day's kind of a sure thing to do. We have a heel team again as tag champions, and you either decide if you're going to keep War Raiders pushing along, if you maybe trickle back the LWO in, or maybe there's some former NXT tag champions that have been ready and just it's a matter of time. Because Raw needs tag teams or just more investment into the tag division badly. So Fraxium, please show up on Monday. We beg of thee. And also just like it's the fact that like everything felt like Big E was gonna come out and they were gonna like have him help War Raiders win. But I feel like legitimately if he's truly not cleared, that's the only reason why they didn't do it. And it stinks, but I understand, like, sometimes you just have to go with the sure thing. But, again, Ella did hit the nail on the head. Like, it felt like everything that the SmackDown tag division has been doing with the WWE tag titles, that announcing a triple threat TLC match, and it doesn't happen at WrestleMania like it did at WrestleMania 18, but instead the SmackDown after is blasphemy.
Not even a kickoff. Like,
we had a 3-hour countdown show. No matches.
Not a match.
We didn't have a United States Championship match for the women. We didn't have a Women's Intercontinental Championship match for the women, which, by the way, Lyra Valkyria is in dire need of a tag partner because Bailey got
I
taken out
wonder who
backstage.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's almost like we might have saw someone at the Hall of Fame last night. Someone from Dublin, Ireland.
It's
Fancy
almost like
that.
there was a report coming out that she was set to get physically involved at the show.
Yeah, it's almost like we are screwing Bailey out of another WrestleMania
Yeah.
match when she has a workhorse.
Which
feud
apparently
before.
had been in plans for weeks. And she knew about it.
I mean, the thing that gets
I
me
hate
is
it.
that you have them have that phenomenal IC title match on Raw
Yeah.
before the SmackDown Gauntlet. You have them run
Yeah.
the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
You could have accomplished something regardless of the fact that maybe if you really wanted Lyra to be in a tag title match, you set this up the week before. You'd let Bailey win the Intercontinental Championship. You have Lyra find a mystery opponent for if she's going to start the Gauntlet. You have whoever it's going to be, Becky, come out on SmackDown, get her acclimated to the ring again after so many months away. It's a pop there, and then it's going to have the bigger feel-good moment for WrestleMania. Because I feel like everybody's already expecting her at WrestleMania, so the Mania pop isn't as important just because it's obvious. It isn't as shocking as when she came back at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, though, I don't foresee, especially if Gigi and Tatum are the number one contenders now. I think Becky's going to come out, but she's going to screw Lyra and then go after the IC title. She technically never got a rematch for the NXT Women's Championship. And honestly, Raw kind of needs top heels, especially considering Bianca, Io, and Rhea are all baby faces, and Lyra is already a baby face. I feel like they kind of need some top heels, like in the not live, in the singles division.
Yeah.
So
And
I think Becky's gonna turn.
I will say there has yet to be at least on television, a Paul Heyman girl.
True.
She, she was resharing her man's post. She called Paul Heyman the GOAT. She was celebrating. She's celebrating after. Could see it. That'd be cute.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that tag title match wasn't tonight because you could have built for maybe the IC title match to happen tomorrow. Because clearly there's space on the card, even though that main event technically started like 10:30 and ended a little bit before 11. But I mean, I don't know. It is what it is.
There was so much
However, we did finally have something happen with the women's division that makes me happy. Not only is it a non-title match on the card, but like no stipulations. It's not a pillow fight. There's no Miller Lite Catfight girls. Just a very interesting story that's been told for months. Long-term booking. We saw Jade Cargill defeat Naomi in what was actually a really good match. I think this is what woke me up to this WrestleMania, honestly, just because the finish for the World Heavyweight title match kind of left me on a little bit of a sour note, and then the World Tag title match, again, the finish kind of But this kind of picked things back up just because we got to see a flurry of offense that we don't normally see. We finally got to see Naomi's new entirely heel presentation, which is a complete 180 from what she was doing with Slayomi, which we saw her coming out with metal music, which I was not expecting. I was ready for like some sort of like hip hop, like her recording her own stuff again, but just like a very different Naomi, which is a good thing because, I mean, if you're going to have a different heel persona 10 years later from the last time you were a heel, I don't expect everything to be exactly the same as it once was, especially because now you have added layers and baggage to that role. And then we also got to see the weather report leading into Jade's entrance to kind of make it a little bit more special, which is cheesy, campy, fun, but yeah. Al, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. Take it away.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about the theme yet. Like, I think the theme's cute, but I don't know if it's Naomi.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if
was
it's
my
fully her vibe.
Words.
Like, maybe for somebody else, I think it's fine. I don't know. Maybe it has to grow, but I just don't see her as that like metal girly.
I also wish they didn't wait till WrestleMania to drop the new theme because this gives you a
Please.
buffer period to change it out.
Yeah, because I was like, huh? Did I miss an episode where she got a new theme? But the gear, the entrance,
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Jade, chef's kiss, perfection. I don't know what it's like to be God's favorite. But I like this match a lot. I wish Naomi won. I just think it would have really cemented her heel turn. And I don't think Jade needed the win. Jade's still going to be Jade no matter what. It doesn't hurt her if she loses. But she won, and it's fine. This is going to give Naomi more. She's fired to be like, no, I should have won. people are, I'm better than you. This is a fluke. She can have that, I guess. I just wish she would have won. She deserved it, but they both looked great. This is a really good match for both of them. I just wish Naomi won. That's it. That's my only complaint.
I mean, you're not getting a no out of me.
Yeah.
Your 2 cents.
I mean, it went basically how I expected Jade to win, and she did. I'm glad it wasn't a squash. I thought there was a possibility they could have like had Naomi squash in 5 minutes. I was pleasantly surprised for that. It was a solid match for me. It wasn't anything spectacular per se, but it gives Naomi fuel to go and attack Jade and continue their feud and coax her into a rematch where Naomi can hopefully win that. I think we're far from done. I said it before, but this match had the best build, I think, into it. And I think it's one that has potential to go on even longer. So I'm looking forward to see what Naomi does. It makes her spiral even more. And then maybe we get a rematch of Backlash. So I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see the payoff for this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This doesn't feel like a blow-off match. It just feels like the first. So I would love to see how we add layers to this. I feel like it really started picking up in the second half when we saw Naomi going for that blockbuster, and then Jade catches her and holds her for that suplex. We saw that crazy wheelbarrow bulldog that Naomi did off the top rope, which I was not expecting because I thought like it was going to be something completely different. Almost teasing like she was going to hit Jaded from up there, but instead we got Jaded in the center ring after a crazy electric chair that she turns into this power bomb before, but all in all, I was very happy with how the match played out. Would I have loved Naomi to win? Absolutely. All things considered, I think Jade still looks great. And is this her first match officially since coming back? I mean, no, wait, she had that match with Liv where she lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what can happen down the line. I want to know if we're ever going to get Bianca getting involved in this to finally like see if she's truly just like entirely with Jade, if she doesn't care about either one of them anymore, or if that is the case, if Naomi's going to have an equalizer of sorts, someone else that could help her proceed with caution. Because something tells me we might be seeing someone from NXT that was only there for a good time, not a long time, that Naomi knows very well.
True.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell. But alas, we get into yet another championship match at WrestleMania 41. Again, another championship changes hands at WrestleMania 41. We have for the United States Championship, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, defeating LA Knight. And was this match of the night to me? I feel like this is a sleeper hit for match of the night. It's not number 1, it's number 2. But this match, I honestly thought this was going to be the squash match of the night. I thought you're just going to let Jacob do Jacob things, but LA Knight put up a damn good fight. I was not expecting half of the stuff that he was doing. When he caught that moonsault and turned it into a BFT was insane. Because I genuinely thought, I don't think we've ever really had like a BFT out of nowhere moment. To the point where it's just like, oh, wait, he might actually get this win.
Yeah.
But, I mean, lo and behold, Jacob does what Jacob does, and he beats the hell out of everybody. And we have a new United States champion, which I don't think anybody saw was going to happen differently. But the way we got there was definitely entertaining. Ella J, your thoughts on the U.S. title match?
I thought in the back of my mind that there's a chance that Braun Strowman could have, interrupted this match and cost Jacob Fatu. I'm glad he didn't, because I think this is the first step to getting Jacob to the main event is the U.S. title. And I was like, I did not want Jacob to lose on the grand stage. So I am very happy for Jacob Fatu. Excited to see where he goes. I don't know where LA Knight goes from here personally. He only held this title for a month and 2 weeks or something like that. I mean, there's not much to say. I think the right person was chosen, and it was better than I expected, honestly. Like you said, I'm not usually a fan of the BFT. I think it's kind of doesn't look very powerful, but that spot looked really good against the ropes. And then Jacob getting his arm on it to break it was a really cool spot. Jacob is always great at his moonsaults. Again, I'm just surprised that there was no Solo Sikoa interrupting at ringside or Braun Strowman. I was surprised that it was not that it's an issue, but I was surprised it was clean. I think we're just so jaded into thinking something's gonna happen, you know. Like there was a lot of cleanness tonight besides the main event. So I'm happy for Jacob Fatu. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, honestly, on the contrary, I was not like I wasn't surprised at all that we didn't see like Solo Sikoa or Tama Tonga or anything like that. I figured like someone like Jacob is so dominant on his own that it really doesn't matter if he's with or without the new bloodline. And especially considering the fact that Solo took the pin last night on SmackDown before this match, it definitely feels like there's gonna be a wrinkle of, yeah, I don't need you guys anymore. Screw this.
Yeah.
And then that could set up a program where Solo's going to challenge Jacob for the U.S. title, probably at Backlash. Al, what are you thinking?
Well, that I would like to see. But yeah, I also was like, oh, Solo was just like, he showed up. He said, goodbye, I'll take your mask. And then he left. I was like, oh, all right. The mask was fire. But yeah, I thought this was going to be very quick. And I was like, oh, okay, this will be cute. It'll be fine. No, this match was sick. This was before the rest of them. I was like, this is match of the night. And then I saw Charlotte and Tippy. But this this was second. This was not, this was just, like you said, the sleeper hit. This was like on paper. I'm like, okay, sure, go off, I guess. But I am surprised there was no interference. Those two men should not just be hopping on the ropes like the way they do. It's stupid how athletic they are, and upsetting how good they are. I was just it was really good. I had a great time, and I was not expecting to have such a great time. Obviously, glad Jacob won, but I want to see the tension between. Because then, who does Tama go align with? Like, who do they? That's a whole other separate bloodline situation.
I mean, you could also have Tama Tonga just go off on his lonesome. Whether Tonga Loa follows shortly after remains to be seen. But I mean, like, I feel like, especially with the new bloodline, you don't really need to keep them in the same place anymore. Especially because for the OG bloodline, you already have them divided everywhere. And, like, maybe they'll come together when they need to. But honestly, I feel like there's more stories to be told with them as separate entities than there are together anymore.
Well, commentary made it a point. They were like, you know, they're talking about the families having gold with Jay. Like, it was like kind of like already planting seeds that they're kind of all separating but taking over the whole company. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, not too bad for that United States Championship match. But I would be remiss to say that once again, this podcast is brought to you by the Shroom Bar. The protein mushroom bar, it's made up of not psychedelics, but 4 powerful mushroom adaptogens. It has lion's mane, which increases focus, memory, and neuroplasticity, making it easier to form new patterns and learn new things. Next time you're trying to learn that new move, that'll actually stick in your head rather than forgetting it immediately. It has cordyceps, which increases VO2 max, blood flow, and overall endurance. It has reishi, which decreases stress. It has turkey tail, which boosts your immune system. And we all know we need those nasty-ass gym mats. I mean, let's keep it a buck, y'all are disgusting. And we're wrestling fans. Wear deodorant. Use soap. I beg. On top of all of that, it has 12 grams of protein, but make sure that you're going to eat shroombar.com and you're using code BODYSLAM for 25% off your first order. Thank you again, Shroombar, for partnering with us on this episode of the WrestleMania Post Show. But now that we've gotten through all the fun and mayhem that we've had so far, we're into something that is definitely more on the foolish part than the mayhem part. We had El Grande Americano defeating Rey Fenix, who was an audible pick for the injured Rey Mysterio, who hurt himself last night in that 6-man tag on SmackDown. I will say, of note, we had a very interesting video package about the lineage of Mask with Lucha Libre. And we had a mariachi band playing El Grande Americano to the ring. And once again, he's billed from the Gulf of America, which all this on the same day that you announced you acquired AAA. Choices. But I mean, the match was fine. Like, all things considered, the fact that they had to put this together on the fly, more or less. I mean, Phoenix looked good. I mean, literally within 3 weeks of debuting in WWE, you get a singles match at WrestleMania. That's not a bad gig. All things considered, so we get both Lucha Bros on WrestleMania in their first year of WWE. Good on them. I feel like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop with this, where we get an unmasking. It's probably going to be some sort of mask versus mask match where you have El Grande Americano defeated finally, only to find out that it's Chad Gable, and we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids, all that stuff. But yeah, I would say this match was probably the lower
Chad Gable?
point. Allegedly. we can neither confirm nor deny. It is
I
all
am shocked.
speculation. It
I
is
am
innuendo,
shocked.
out
Wow.
innuendo.
Wow.
Yes. Al, do
Wow.
you have anything
Wow.
to add on to this match?
You know, I did chuckle at Gulf of America at first, but I'm over it. And the mariachis were sick, made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially you put that in with your AAA announcement. It's weird.
Yeah, and then you also
But
have Hijo
Bikini
de
looked great.
Mexico
It
at
just felt like a
ringside.
fever dream.
Yeah, it
I
is.
wish he would have been involved more.
I mean, he was clearly able to. I mean, he had like that little kick before the match officially started. I thought we were going to get some sort of spot with Vikingo in there, but turned out not so much. Ella J, anything you wanted to put in for this one?
Yeah, if El Grande Americano, so originally versus Ray, I had El Grande Americano winning because I'm like, makes sense. He's undefeated. You know, Ray's won the last Ray Mysterio for clarification. Is 2-0, has won his last 2 WrestleManias. I'm like, okay, it makes sense for him to win. Obviously, Rey Mysterio goes down. Unfortunate. I hope he's okay. If you were going to still have El Grande Americano win, you should have put Dragon Lee in this situation because I don't understand why you will want Rey Fenix, who just came in, who, I mean, I guess he technically lost to Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, whatever, but he was like, undefeated in like singles, and then he won the 6-man. So like, you want to keep him on his wave of momentum, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was the foolishness with the whole like metal plate and the mask thing that we've seen time and time again, but also
Rey Fenix losing in his single, probably what may be his only singles match at WrestleMania ever. Let's be honest. So soon, I would is kind of crazy to me. You should have, if you were gonna have the actual luchador lose, I feel like Dragon Lee should have been in this situation so El Grande can beat him.
Well, not even just that. It's also the fact that Dragon Lee is part of the LWO. Rey Fenix is not.
This, I would think you would want to have Rey Fenix still look strong. Awesome opportunity, of course, but if you were going to have him lose, just put in Dragon Lee in there. You want to still, I don't know. I just thought it was questionable. I was so sure Rey Fenix was gonna win, but he didn't, obviously. So that was really odd to me. I would have swapped out Dragon Lee for Rey Fenix if you were going to have El Grande win. That's really my gripe with it. So
the math was not mathing for me personally, but it is what it is. But thankfully, we do have a much higher note to proceed to with the following match. I will say the build was very scary. I think we all went into this one knowing the match was going to deliver, but how we got there was a bumpy ride.
Mm-hmm.
We have Tiffany Stratton retaining her WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, the 2025 Women's Rumble winner, which I will be honest, I did not see this result happening personally, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. Al, I'll let you lead this one.
I think she's frozen.
If you were able to hear us, give us an Al, yeah.
I think, what would be funny if that's Al's reaction was.
Oh, wait, we got some turning.
I think maybe that's a sign about how Al felt about the match. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me try removing and adding her back in. So if we do this. It's fine. We'll circle back to Al in a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. There we go.
I'm back.
She's back.
I don't know what happened. I could see it coming and I was like, oh no. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Retribution took out your signal. It's okay. Let's
man.
see. But no, I wanted to see. Oh, let's get into this one. Joseph on the YouTube chat saying this one scared me. Glad a conclusion was reached. Glad Tiffany is still WWE Women's Champion. Yeah, the build more than anything was murky waters. I am surprised that we were able to get to a match of that quality, considering all the elements at play. But Al, the floor is yours.
There we go.
I was
There we
gonna say not
go.
again.
You had us scared now.
Not again. Don't know what's up with my internet.
All good, all good.
If I'm still on, okay. Yeah. I was like not looking for this. If we can hear me,
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can.
can.
I can see my lines going out. Sorry. Okay, great. I was like, this is fun. This is weird. This is murky. Yes, this match. Maybe it's the passion. Maybe it is the real life animosity that got this going. Because this was the girls were fighting and wrestling. R.I.P. to Tiffy's tooth. Okay, she is kind of like Charlotte because she did look messy at the end. She was losing teeth. The gears were gearing though. First of all, Barbie, 10 out of 10. I just wish it said Tiffy on the box.
Yeah, or had
Just
like the
saying, 'cause
Mattel
then,
logo
like
or
at
something.
next her box, like if you look at the boxing one, it had actual like Barbie logo. So why did the box not have the Barbie logo? Because like that would be cute for WWE World next year. You could do photo op in that. Like that would be cute. Charlotte, just perfection. I loved it. I was fine either way. I was rooting for Charlotte, but you know, I really like this match. This match of the night. This was perfect. I don't know. Like, yeah, like I said, this, like we were saying, like this build was kind of boring, like weird. I don't understand. But the match killed it. They killed it. I'm still shook from my internet. Sorry.
All
But
good.
no, it was so good. Like I don't know what else to say. It was so. Well, yeah.
At the
It's a
press
long
conference,
WrestleMania
obvious
week,
she
and you
was
lose a
mostly
tooth.
exhausted.
So.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's good to finally put the fork in the end of this one, just because everything leading up to this, like whether it was meant to become a shoot, they definitely turned it that route. Where to the point where it's really uncomfortable at certain points to watch SmackDown and see what the hell they were going to do next. I'm so glad that the match delivered the way it did. I will say, interesting note is that I feel like they had similar color schemes on both of their gears.
Well, yeah.
Both of them reminiscent, to me at least, of the Divas Championship. Especially Tiffany having like a butterfly kind of silhouette shape like she's been wearing lately. I definitely got Divas Championship vibes, which, I mean, the girls were fighting, so why not? Charlotte, the final Divas champion. Maybe she's saying like, "Hey, I didn't forget about you. I know your history." And we got to see Tiffany make a legacy for herself at WrestleMania, showing out. She's battle tested. She's battle scarred. She overcame the odds of Charlotte Flair in a big match where it always feels like you can never root against Charlotte in one of these opportunities. But I'm glad we got to see one championship remain intact where it was, because it feels like Tiffany has a lot more to give in this reign. And the problem with her winning via the Money in the Bank cash-in when she did was we never got to see anything with the reign. It was like she got the rematch with Nia that had a non-finish. Then we got the Elimination Chamber tag match. And then immediately it was Charlotte build to WrestleMania. So now that we know that Tiffany is still champion and that she's still a babyface, now we can actually see what she's truly going to be made of. Whether or not she's going to have a long reign, whether or not it's a short reign, but just seeing what she can do with some different booking with this whole title reign. Ella, anything you wanted to add to this one?
Yeah, once Jacob Fatu won the United States Championship, I realized Tiffany's winning because they should not have all the titles change hands on one night, nor did they. So I realized Tiffany was winning after Jacob won, because I'm like, they are not doing back to back title changes, nor should they. But obviously, like the resident Charlotte fan in me was like rooting for Charlotte, of course, but also I'm like, I don't want all the title changes. So I was like, okay. That's just me being biased personally. But it was overall, obviously there was some spots where it was like, Charlotte scared me with her knee, just like Randy does with his back when he sells that coming back from injury. I know they're selling, but it still makes me nervous. I was nervous for Charlotte at points with her knee. So kudos to her for selling. I hope it was just that anyway. Overall, I think it was solid. And obviously it's going to give Tiffany a big boost. Obviously, I personally would have loved Charlotte to win. But I understand why they didn't. And unfortunately, though, it keeps her streak of losing at odd-numbered WrestleManias alive. So that I'm a little bit sad about. So she's 4-4. Tiffy time. I saw people saying toothless aggression.
No.
Toothy time. I hope
Chippy time.
Chippy time. That definitely, we hadn't really seen Tiffany like that since her street fight with Becky. Like, it was good to see Tiffany in like a rugged kind of look. I hope we see more of that going forward. So congrats to her, but of course the Charlotte fan in me is a little bit sad, just a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting they had a Perfect Celebrity by Lady Gaga for the video package hyping it up, which actually did a really good job. And then coming out of the match, knowing that Tiffany has an impaired set of grills right now, maybe we see a recap video to
Oh my God,
Smile
I need
by
to go
Sabrina
back.
Carpenter. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all definitely crying because it's over. But we have our main event for night one. Wait, before we can get into that, there was a little trend that someone pointed out on Twitter that everybody that was winning in a championship match came out first. So even going through every match we have here, the only person that came out first in any of their matches and lost was Naomi. So imagine that. I feel like you could have let Naomi get a clean win over Jade, but we're not going to dwell on that anymore. We have to talk about the main event. Which this main event was drama conflama. It was soap opera. It was gasping in Spanish. It was all the things. We had Seth Rollins defeating CM Punk and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. After Paul Heyman, with the performance of a lifetime, not only giving CM Punk the steel chair in front of Roman Reigns to low blow CM Punk, he then presents Roman Reigns with the chair. We see Seth Rollins propped up on the ropes, a la Shield breaking up in 2016, only for Roman Reigns to get a low blow as well. I mean, Paul Heyman, what a slimy, sleazy... No. It happened exactly what it was supposed to. I feel like we all knew, Seth Rollins is going to walk out the victor, the custody of Paul Heyman match. No ladder, sadly. But, Ella J, I will hand this one over to you.
We didn't all know. My heart, of course, wanted Seth Rollins to walk out with Paul Heyman. But honestly, the last, two, Raws, felt kind of felt like it was obvious. Because Seth stood tall over Roman and Punk on Raw on Monday. And also, he did the pipe bomb and, pipe bomb, whatever. And, nobody really interrupted him. I don't know. I didn't really watch the beginning of SmackDown last night. So it felt a little bit obvious that Paul would then align with Seth. So I was like, oh, maybe they won't. So my head was Roman Reigns, because they did a similar thing with Brock Lesnar in 2022 where Paul temporarily realigned with Brock heading into the Rumble. But at the Rumble, it was revealed that Paul was really with Roman again, and then he handed a chair to Roman, and Roman struck Brock and cost Brock the title. So I was like, oh, they're just doing that, except CM Punk is Brock in this situation. I'm like, they're just going to repeat that. In my head, anyway, that's what I felt in my head. My heart wanted Seth, and I am so glad that my heart was right. Once he low blowed Punk, I was screaming, and I'm like, are they gonna do it with Roman? And yes, they freaking did. I am so happy for my head to be wrong. I am so excited for this. I'm happy to be wrong. This is what I wanted. I just didn't think they would pull the trigger on it, but I'm so glad that they did. And like Jose said earlier, I'm interested, is Seth are they gonna boo him now? I think the people love it. I think it's gonna be a mixed reaction for Seth. I have no idea how this is gonna go forward. I never saw Punk winning personally, because Punk just wanted to be in the main event. He never said he wanted to win it. So for me, it was always between Roman and Seth. And obviously Seth won. So I can't be mad at that, especially how it turned out. New era. I'm so here for it.
And also, shout out to CM Punk not only having a video package with this Fire Burns, but in living color out there playing.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That was super, super fun to see. I feel like, if anything, this is also kind of a thank you to Seth Rollins, considering you had him lose twice last WrestleMania.
True.
Closing one show and opening the next on his back. I feel like this was definitely a good way to kind of like show him like, no, we do care about you. Like you're still one of our guys, and this is gonna be a fun program and a story to tell, because you get to continue the story of how much you hate CM Punk and how much CM Punk hates you and how you hate Roman Reigns. So, hatred won tonight. That's all that matters. Al, your thoughts?
Yeah, Seth is fueled by hate. I respect that. He's just, it's fine.
Him and Drew would be besties. I don't know why they're not besties.
At some point, they're just going to be like, it's going to be a stepbrothers moment between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys squashed this in the ring last year when you had Seth telling Drew after he won the title, you fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
To lose it 5 minutes later to Damian Priest, and I felt extra Puerto Rican in the press box that day, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, I feel like this was a good way to close out the show, and it had like the drama that you would expect from a WrestleMania main event. Joseph again on the YouTube chat saying I felt like they had to do something crazy. Nothing was really on the line. The man behind Seth Rollins hates Phil Brooks with a passion. It said he wants Phil Brooks in the UFC cage.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the fact that we have literally 12 years of animosity just because of the fact of the fallout of CM Punk leaving WWE the way he did, the firing that happened after that. His AEW stuff, like there's layers and layers of actual history to the point where it doesn't necessarily even feel like a storyline. Like this is based in reality, which is something I enjoy that this era can do. I'm glad that we are professionals and can work in a professional setting and make art out of it and make money, because I feel like everybody goes home happy after that. But I mean, sometimes the best matches happen when two people can't fucking stand each other. I mean, think about Seth and Cody in Hell in a Cell where Cody had a torn pec. You think about, it happened quite often. We saw that match with Charlotte and Becky at that one Survivor Series after the title exchange went awry and they weren't on speaking terms then. Like, sometimes you let bygones be bygones and you put on a good show, even if you're going to have to work with someone that you're not exactly seeing eye to eye with outside of the ring. But damn it, I enjoyed this one.
Paul's a hoe. I tweeted it. He a hoe. But I respect all.
We love hoes.
Yep.
We do.
Name,
listen.
So. Ho recognizes ho. So
it's fine. It's fine. We all knew this was gonna happen. Where does Roman Reigns go? Like alone. He's literally alone.
He goes away.
Yeah,
that's where he goes. We'll see him at SummerSlam. Honestly, though, we might see him in Saudi Arabia. We'll see. That's like a month from now. We'll see.
I was gonna say there's only one Saudi show this year, though. Interesting. I think it's because
right now. But yeah. God. Oh yeah, because Rumble.
No, they said one this year because I think next year they get 3, including the Rumble.
Okay.
So choices.
Anyways, that man was there. But yeah, it's interesting. But the drama, the Rowan was so hurt. He was already prepping for Hollywood. This is his audition.
I found myself cheering. I found myself cheering for Roman Reigns, which never happens. Just simply out of the fact I wanted to be right. That's
you were cheering
only because
for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, only because I wanted my official prediction to be right. Honestly,
wait, the same woman that keeps a timer for how long it takes him to walk to the ring was rooting for Roman Reigns.
Just because I wanted my pick to be correct. My official pick was Roman, and so I was rooting for that simply because I wanted to be right. But I'm so happy, like I said, to be wrong, because I also wanted him to be low blood though. But yeah, it was a very strange whirlwind of emotions that made event.
He really laid that Roman low blow in. That was like
yeah. Once he started circling around him when Roman had the chair, I go, oh my god, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, he pushed him like no, and I was like, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm indifferent to Punk. He's just there. I'm glad we got to hear this fight. I just don't care anymore.
Last year,
he hasn't, and that's the opposite for me. He's just there now. Congrats on your Mania check. I don't.
That's kind of how I feel about Roman in the match. The only thing missing to like make this drama into cinema is Roman singing in the rain to like some R&B song or something. Like you just see him on the streets, like mourning the loss of Paul Heyman in his corner after.
It's also just weird. I like because Roman had never lost Mania like back to back, so that's also another reason I chose him. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna make him lose back to back years, and then they did.
But it's also him coming out with no title. He's not competing.
And also him coming out second.
Not even just coming out second. He came out alone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, that's why I thought it was a ruse. I thought, oh, Paul's gonna reveal he's actually with Roman, like he did with Brock. But obviously, that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Well,
which I'm okay with.
Overall, your thoughts as we wrap up WrestleMania Night 1, we leading to Night 2 tomorrow. No, we'll give this out of a 5-star rating. Al, what would you think is your WrestleMania star rating for Night 1?
You know, 3.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not LJ
And it's just
saying,
because of
that's high.
you know, it's just because of Charlotte and Tiffy. If it really wasn't that, it would probably have been lower. But yeah, I wanted to love it more because sometimes on paper they're like blah, and then they exceed it. And this one was just, it was fine. I'm kind of like, I'm glad I was at home.
I mean, my wallet is definitely glad I was at home.
My wallet is definitely, yeah.
Having a WrestleMania during Easter weekend and tax season is a recipe for disaster. LJ, your 5-star rating.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow's 420. RVD's gonna have a fun time.
Oh, I mean, it's already 420 on the East
happy
Coast.
RVD.
Oh, is it? Is it? I didn't realize.
Yes.
Out of 5, honestly, there was like the main event was the only match I was like totally wooed by. Honestly,
you said
I
totally
feel like
wooed by, and you weren't talking about a Charlotte Flair match.
I know, like there was some moments in that match though where I was like, oh, looking a little rough. I would probably say a 3. I feel like there was like so much more they could have done. Like the fact that we didn't get like a big like return, like a surprise, like a big E or like any interference. Like I was just so surprised like how clean it was.
Yeah.
And then like the J match was shocking, but only the finish. Like so it's like 3, and that's being generous, I feel like.
I'm gonna
the
say
half
3
was
and
me
a
being
quarter.
generous.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the matches that I expected to delivered. Some matches that I didn't expect to delivered. And then other matches just had moments of just like, really, this is what we're doing?
Yeah.
But I mean, it feels like it was a fine show. I don't think it was super remarkable when it comes to being considered a WrestleMania. Tomorrow's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting to bring...
It has the potential to. The card tomorrow is really good. It has a lot of potential.
I mean, you already have 2 guaranteed surprises tomorrow, which is more than we could say for tonight.
True.
And then we also have, like, what could either be the most, like, historic moment that WWE's done in a while, or it could be the biggest fumble they might have had in a while, too.
Yeah.
So... they're booking themselves into a corner this one. At the trend continues tomorrow, expect to be home run 3.5. Surprisingly tomorrow, Bailey's attacked on the pre-show. Now, if Bailey being attacked tonight and then having the match tomorrow, do you think she still tries to come out at some point during the tag title match?
Oh my god, it's giving Lana Royal Rumble. I don't want that.
Oh my god.
I don't want that.
No. Not my Bailey. Don't do that.
It's
Not my
giving
Bailey
that.
had the same
And then,
energy as my Shayla.
No.
Oh my god, it's giving that. No.
No, I don't think Bailey's going to be dancing on a chair. It's okay.
Oh.
Although we might see dancing on a chair tomorrow at some point. Considering the fact we have freaking VIP seats on the WrestleMania stage. Let's see. Oh, Joseph again in the chat. If Becky ain't the partner, who could it be? Nikki. See, here's the problem that I have. I feel like if we were going to see a returning Diva Legend, it would have been to challenge Chelsea Green for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I don't think Nikki, Trish, or Michelle would make sense to team with Lyra. The irony is I feel like if it's not Tatum Paxley, I feel like it kind of has to be Becky Lynch, because who else have you built up any sort of relationship with Lyra in the past? Unless you go completely out of left field and you have like someone from NXT UK coming out of nowhere on WrestleMania. But even then, Mako Satomura is about to retire.
I was about to say.
That would be badass if she did come out.
Okay.
Lyra wants a match against
allowed.
her too. Because isn't she retiring like next week or something?
I think in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the end of this month, April. And Lyra has said that she wants a match with Mako beforehand. I'd be here for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Lyra's the bird lady. I mean, there is a Firebird lady, you know, a phoenix of sorts. You never know, but I mean, I'm intrigued to see how that's going to play out. I'm glad that we're starting with the women's world title match tomorrow because I feel like that's the match that like I'm really, really, really invested in, and I think it's going to be not only just the benchmark. That's probably going to be match of the night. If not that, then the Intercontinental Championship match is going to be match of the night. So I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like WrestleMania Sunday has a little bit more hype and steam behind it. We're probably going to see some blood tomorrow because we got the street fight coming up. And if not the street fight, you have a Cody Rhodes match. He's going to bleed. But
You better.
Well, yeah.
I want Cody. I like Cody, but I want him to get his ass beat again. Like, I want it to be that bad. And then Randy Orton steps up in his honor to face John Cena at Backlash in his hometown. That's what I want.
LJ reading from the great book of JWoww. You could stay, get your ass beat. You could stay, get your ass beat. You could stay, get your motherfucking ass beat.
Exactly.
So. Also no stranger to a wrestling ring, although that was TNA. But, but alas,
they're
will leave.
together. They're partners.
Yeah, I mean, Snooki was on WrestleMania. We saw handspring elbow tonight. You know, paying homage as Tiffany Stratton once did. You know,
Our
it all works out. But all wackiness aside, all long wrestling days aside, thank you guys for being here for the WrestleMania 41 post show for night 1 on Body Slam. Over 400 of you across all platforms. Thank you so much. Make sure that you're following bodyslam.net wherever you're engaging with this content, that you're liking things, that you're sharing them. There's going to be more articles coming out. There's another post show tomorrow with JPJ and Peggy from The Hive joining me. I'm excited about that. Al, where can people find you if it wasn't kind of obvious with what's on the screen right now?
I mean, y'all know where to find me. Alia Pod. It's WrestleMania week. We'll have some content, some TikToks, some stuff. And of course, you can find me every Sunday. Not tomorrow. We're taking a break this week. Mika is in Vegas, so we will be back next Sunday for the Collision post show. Back to the regular scheduled AEW content, but it was fun.
I mean, imagine
He'll be
taking
weird.
a week
He'll be
off
weird.
in wrestling. No. It doesn't happen really.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of taking a week off, that never happens. Ella J, where can people find you?
You can find me also where it says down here. At it's Ella J on Twitter, Instagram, and at Blue Sky. I need to get better at Blue Sky.
I do too, admittedly.
Tomorrow I'll be on a post show with OLE Podcasts, our good friends over there, for night 2. I'm expecting night 2 to be a bit better. But we are heading into it on a high with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, so I'm hoping they keep that alive. I'm really excited. I think night 2 has a great card. There is a lot of potential there. And it's WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
We still have Raw after Mania. We have NXT. We
keep going.
We got many days of wrestling left.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say, going into night 2 on a high, considering the date, the city, and all that other stuff.
Oh,
that's true. I didn't even think of that. That's true. Yeah, but you can follow me on all those platforms, and I'll be live tweeting the show like I did today. Yep.
Yeah, we're hoping tomorrow is one of a kind, if you catch our drift. But Jose in the Air everywhere, having you covered here. I mean, you'll definitely find me here again tomorrow night after the show for the WrestleMania Night 2 post show. And then this coming Wednesday, again on Body Slam, we're going to be starting some Dynamite post show coverage again with myself and JPJ on a weekly basis. So name to be determined, because y'all have these fun names over here in Body Slam. Yeah, right now we're like that one SpongeBob episode where he forgets everything but fine dining and breathing.
Listen, it takes a while to do your first show, see how it is. And don't forget, if you ever need a friend to pop in on Dynamite, just holler.
Oh, yes. It's almost like we're going to eventually have to talk about AEW pay-per-views. And, I mean, you can't just do a pay-per-view, which is half of the weekly programming, you know. What could possibly go wrong with that?
I will be in Texas, so...
Yeah.
Just
So one might be all in on being a contributor to the show, but I mean, we won't leave you guys here much longer. It's already after midnight on the East Coast. Go sleep. Go do whatever you do on April 20th, 2025. I will leave that to y'all, but we will see you again back here tomorrow for night 2, the finale of this WrestleMania season. So good night, everybody.